So hey everybody, I am here with Sonia Peralta and she is a 4-6 profile with 48 as her life's work. So we're going to explore this 48 energy and see how it has shown up in Sonia's life and also go a little bit into the exploration of her charts. And what I'm really excited about today is that we actually have somebody who's deep into both human design and the gene keys, and that as I always say, that these systems go together, and that when we can put them like side by side, there's so much more, like so much more wisdom and so much more, sometimes like it makes so much more sense. So that's what I'm looking forward today with you, Sonia, to go in and see. You were telling me that you got into human design 3 years ago, and then a year and a half ago, more or less, you got into the gene keys, and you were telling me, how that was for you. And I would love to hear a little bit more again, that those two things, and also the 48, like maybe how you understood it first from a human design perspective, and then when you got the gene keys, what that shifted in your understanding of your life's work.
Yes, it was exactly that. I had first the experience of human design. It was yeah, I'm still having it, of course, because it's an ongoing exploration of so many things. We sometimes we think that we already know, and then something appears, and another one, and it's like opening, like the gates opening, and information coming in. Of course, for me, the biggest transformation is when I start to combine both. When I got the gene key, that made a huge difference on my energy, especially because I was telling you that I'm kind of mental. So if I go too much on the head, I go to the unconscious, and then I disconnect with the body.
Right.
So it's a challenge for me, so I can stay grounded and don't go too much to my open centers and then disconnect and kind of go with the flow of others and things like that. So with the gene key, I felt that I grounded and I got more stabilized on the information. And then, of course, it made a huge difference the day that I heard the video from the 48 Gene Key. It was kind of overwhelming, the energy that I felt, the understanding, that I had on that day. Of course,
Right.
I continue listening. I still listen. I love it. When I listen, I, I love that energy that I feel there. And then it made a huge difference also to connect with the other gene keys. So yes, the 48, it's my life's work, and it's inadequacy, my shadow. And it's kind of interesting because this morning I really felt that energy when I wake up. Yeah, I was very present, of course, today. Because I'm more present on the energy, I don't allow it to control the fear. So I let it settle on the body, and I really feel it. But I don't block because of that. I already know because now I really can feel the energy of that, and it's such a strong fear-based energy that I felt it on the body.
Right.
And I listen all these mental blockages and everything, but then I allowed myself to relax and to breathe and to just let it go, and then my resourcefulness comes up. And it's been kind of amazing journey, really amazing, because I really connect the dot with the 48 gene key with the other ones. When I'm kind of balanced, the other ones, they balance also, and then it flows. Like the 38, it's the shadow struggle. So if I'm not balanced on the 48 up here, I'm going down to my 38, like, oh my god, I need to fight, I need to yell, I need to do it. you know but if I'm very balanced on the 48, I'm very soft. So I allow the struggles not to be a struggle, because I understand that it's a process of my life that I need to develop and work. And I understand that I do the struggles. I do it when I'm on the shadow self. I create the struggles,
Right.
things that didn't need to be a struggle. I create it. I create the dramas and everything, and it's kind of interesting now today to see that, to understand that. But the 48 Vinci, it's like, I love it. I really, really love it because it goes. I have to go really deep inside of myself
Right.
to find the answers. So when I want to change the outside and people and situations, I already know that I'm disconnected because I know that the answers, they are not coming from the outside. They're always coming from the inside. And I have to go very deep inside myself to do that. So, and more or less a year ago, I started to do very regular meditation every day. And I started to do Vipassana meditation. It's the breathing meditation. And then allowed me to go very deep on my emotions. So, so it helped me a lot. And the amazing thing, it helped me to connect with this voids
Right.
energy, like no minds, you know. So and that is, it's where the answers are. And then when I go there and when I allow myself, my body, my mind, everything to go there, I come up with such a completely different energy. And then also my creativity comes up like amplified. I don't know. It's kind of so overwhelming because since then I start to develop these uh, visions and voices of characters and personalities of historical themes, and they have this amazing voices, and also this amazing sounds and communication, and they express themselves. I know that this is all deep inside of me that I'm taking it out, and
Right.
it's just an amazing journey that I started a new project with that, with this with this with this I don't know. I'm still exploring. Really, just started more or less a year ago. So I'm still going with it. I'm still exploring this deep well inside of me. Especially, I'm a woman, so it's kind of deep, strong feminine energy. Like I can, when I'm really in tune with this energy, I feel this energy that it's so soft,
Right.
so gentle. So it's like a completely different energy that I never felt it. I really never felt it in my life because I've been in the shadow for so long that I felt the struggle and fighting and all of that. So it's kind of such a profound, it's so subtle but so deep, you know. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a journey.
I mean, when
For
I look
me.
at your gene keys, like you say, there, like you have the cross of tension in human design. So the 48, the 21, the 39, and the 38. This is the cross of tension, and it's powerful in that sense, right? And you have, like you say, the struggle. You have the warrior energy. You have this kind of tribal control energy. Also, when we look at your Venus sequence, you have the 59 and the 14. Like these are also powerful in their own sense. That comes from like the sacral, the life force energy. That you have the chaotic energy of the 3, and then you have the conflict in the 6. So and that is what happens when the 6th line and when the 4th line, when the heart is not completely open, but when we are in fear, that then, like, when that happens up here in the life in the 4th line personality, then everything basically fires in the low frequency. What I felt was really interesting with what you say is that, yeah, there is such a depth here in your life's work. And it's also accompanied by your IQ, that is a first line, the contemplative mind. So if you have a first line, you always find it deep, deep, deep inside of yourself. And even your emotions, like even there, the 14 is like the strongest of all the energies. somehow, you know, it's the sacral energy of the 14th. And here as well, you're kind of asked to go, like, to go to the bottom, to go to the foundation, to go deeper. And as a fourth line, like, the heart doesn't have a limit, you know, there's always deeper. So I really I love the depth that you're speaking about. And then I'm wondering, I mean, when I look at your pearl sequence, it's peace and divine will, you know, peace twice, and then you have divine will. So I'm wondering, when you're speaking about this project that's coming up for you, it sounds like it's just like coming, you get voices, you get colors. So can you tell me a little bit more how it is? Because here, when I look at your culture, it looks like you're somebody who on a daily basis, you know, what you're doing is divine will, and you share it. You would be really good, like, when you share it one-to-one, since it's the second line culture, it's probable that that person just feels, you know, the magic of what you're doing. So I would love to hear, like, maybe, you know, either how you're working right now, what you're doing, or what this project is kind of, you know, what the divine will wants with what is going on and being channeled through you right now.
Yes, so I have a company that is Algarve Sun Tours and Events. So I have a company on tourism, and I do events also. But basically, I started 4 years. It made yesterday 4 years, by the way, that I started to do this agency, and we organize tours, so historical, cultural, and gastronomic tours in the Algarve. And the other project, it's Algarve Treasure Hunt.
So we lost you there for a little moment. You were telling us about your agency. So continue, please.
Okay, so I was really talking about the Algarve Treasure Hunt. It's the new project that I'm working on, and yes, and it's just, I really feel that energy of the divine will, because it only comes up this energy and the characters and the history and the things that have to say. It's such a deep inside of me. So if I'm disconnected, I lose it. I lose the energy, and I lose this openness to what it comes out. You know. So and then I go to control and all the other energies, and I block the energy flow. So it's kind of interesting because the project really shows me how balanced I am on which energy that I'm working on. So the other company that I don't have is just I don't feel that, because it's more daily based, you know, go to the clients, do the tour. It's also nice because I can meet people from all over the world. So it's also a big experience for me. But the other project, I feel it more deeply, you know. It's this intensity of that energy only comes up when I'm there.
Right.
So, and then the creativity, all the creativity comes out of that. So it's like that deep energy feeling that I have, and then I allowed myself to go there and to really feel all the emotions and to really feel all this depth of void, of nothing, of kind of fear-based energy also, you know. Because the ego, you know, it doesn't want to go there. So the mind tries to do all these games and things like that. So
yeah, we can see that you have the 48. If you look at it from a human design perspective, we see that you have the 48 in the splenic center, and you also have a lot of intuition in the 57. You have that, like, you don't like to fail. You want to, like, you don't, the 32 doesn't like when things are not working, you know. And then you have the channel of struggle. I also have this one. It's one of my, you have two, yeah. It's also one of my main channels. So that is the one that you can struggle, but when it is for a purpose, then it's worth it. So can you give an example, like, in your life when you have been struggling for something that didn't have a purpose, and the difference when you actually put in all your energy and there is for, you know, something that has purpose? Is that becoming easier for you to discern, or how do you feel around that?
Yes, because since I explored more the different types of energies that I have inside myself, I really can see the difference. So in my case, if I'm on this very deep energy of allowing this openness, this just softness and gentleness and peace inside myself, I go to things that I need to do on that energy, and I don't feel the struggle. I feel the divine will in me. So it's kind of very deep energy, and it's just, I feel the body so completely relaxed, and I'm there doing things, and I'm completely open, and there's no struggle, you know. There's mentally, because I believe that the struggles that we do today, I believe they're all mental. Of course, we still have also issues on the body and things like that, but when you are so completely open, without these mental blockages that you create with yourself, in yourself, if you are so open, the ego doesn't come to control.
Right.
So it doesn't come to make the stories on the mind and making you go to the fear-based energy. So when I'm there, I'm not there all the time. I wish I was, but I'm not. So when I'm there, I really feel that, and I'm just there. I'm there. You know, I'm there's, it's not me, my personality, me, or my, you know, trying to control people and things and situations. It's just this openness, you know, just feel the peace inside of me, feel the relaxation, completely relaxation of the body, and I'm just there, and I'm doing things, and it's just amazing, you know. And I don't feel the struggle there. I really don't feel it. When I'm with the other energy that I'm trying to figure things out, knowledge in the not, oh, it's so difficult to say these words. Like knowledge, right? With knowledge, with the mind, that's when the struggle comes for me. Because sometimes I'm using the knowledge of other people and information of other people and things that I think life should be, or I see other people's lives and I think, you know, that mine should be like that, or, you know, things like that. So the mind comes up and I'm open. So it's like, you know, this immense information, knowledge, and I disconnect with the wisdom,
Right.
you know, with the 48. You understand? So when I disconnect with the wisdom, that it's not knowledge. The wisdom is the energy of the body, you know, the energy that it's already here, like inside. Like it's just, it's an ongoing process of going deep. When I don't go, when I don't do the meditation, and when I don't work on that energy, and when I don't work on my completely total relaxation of my body, I go on the other energy. And I try to figure things out mentally, and it doesn't work. I already had that thousands of experiences on that, and it's just because I'm using most of it. It's not mine, you know. It's not mine. It's not. It's a thing that it's from the outside, from the exterior, from the collective consciousness.
Right.
When it
Yeah. With all the openness, of course, you're taking in so much, and then that can influence you, like the conditioning or the pressure from the outside, and that is with all this openness. I mean, for me, this one looks challenging because you have so many activations, and you had that 40. It's actually also your drive. It's your conscious moon. So there can be, you know, when you push things, there can be exhaustion. There can. So I'm wondering, you know, have you burned yourself out at
Yes.
times? Yeah.
Yes, I had, and I had a very deep health problem because of that. I went to the other side, and I burned myself completely. My body shut down. I was here, so I disconnect of the body, and I didn't felt the emotions and things that I needed to feel. And I went a few years ago, before I went on this spiritual journey. So, but also that issue that I had also made me to go deep,
Right.
looking for answers, and a lot of things came out of that. So because
It's
it made me to
interesting.
go.
You know, the name of the 39.6 in the rave I Ching is the troubleshooter. Is the person who has the solution for everything. And then, like, you have the 40 in both here, and then it's like the divine will. So, but you're here, part of what your soul wants is to find the solutions, but you have to go into that 38. If you have it like the little triangle kind of points you down, it's like you have to go down to the struggle, and then you can
Yeah,
come up and shine, you can radiate in the 39. And I know these also very well because we have very similar. I have the 28, 30, 38, and then the 39 on this side, and it has that perseverance even when it's like only just one drop of blood left. It's like still going until it's like. So I recognize the energy of the 39, the 38, and the 28, and then also the open ego, which is, we can really want to do more. I mean, often with that, we value doing more than being, but then really we actually have this really inherent capacity for being, but it's like we kind of run past it all our lives, and then when we like something happened, life kind of gives us like, then it's like we have, then that's the first, then the doors open, and we remember the capacity for that depth and for that spaciousness, and what you're saying, the going deep and just feeling what's in there and to not have to do anything. I guess that is the result, that's the solution in the 40, and that is also the divine will somehow.
yeah, yes. And before I used to try to work things outside the world. When I had an issue or a problem or a struggle, I usually went outside to look for answers, and never happened, and I tried to figure things out on the outside energy level. And today, when I have an issue, I don't go outside anymore looking for that. I
Right.
go deep inside of me trying to understand what emotion is working on me right now that I'm not looking, that it's projecting it outside of myself.
Right.
So I don't try to figure things outside and try to change things on the outside anymore, because it doesn't work. In
Right.
my case, it doesn't work. So also it made me to go more deep inside of myself to look for answers, or just to be present, on just to be. Sometimes it's an emotion that it's there repressed, that wants to be seen.
Right.
Sometimes sometimes it's just this feeling that wants to be seen, or this pain that we bring from ancestors and things like that. So it doesn't need a logical answer. It doesn't need the
Right.
mind to work it, to figure it out. We just need to acknowledge and allow that emotion to come and to be. So it's very deep, because you need to be so open, to allow that to work in yourself, in your life and in your body. It's just, I have such a beautiful transformation on that, because when
Mhm.
I do that work, when I'm really one point on that work, I really see the outside changing, and I don't need to do anything on the outside,
Right.
because my emotions, they change. It's like I'm purging,
Right.
I'm allowing to feel this, not to be on the mind, but to be on my centers, and to allow those energies to come and to stay and just stay there. Not the
Mhm.
story that the mind is telling you, because the mind can bring you up thousands of stories about that emotion. It doesn't. There's no point on that.
Right.
It's just emotion that it's still there, so it needs to be seen, and I allowed it. And then when I do that work, the outside just changes. It's like such a impressive way of seeing life. Also, it makes me uh, not to be so connected with the victim and aggressive energy or the hero energy, because when you understand that everything is inside you and the outside is a projection of yourself, of your energy,
Right.
of your emotions, of your thoughts, um, it makes a difference. So I don't try to figure out life anymore, and I don't try to figure out people anymore, and don't try to change people. Of course, I listen my mind sometimes, bringing all those old stories and things like that, and it's funny to me because I'm present and I can listen it now, but but before I really believed on those stories, and I enhanced the feeling of the energy, of the emotion, of the fear, and I allow the mind to control that. There's and my mind is open, so there's no control. So I can go.
And I mean, yeah, and I can see that, as a 4/6 profile, because I'm also 4/6, that we always see potential in everything. So it's a kind of fine line. When you see the potential in somebody, you kind of want to help them to change sometimes. But we're here to serve the world, but we're not really here to, it's like not in our hands. But I can see that the 4/6 has the vision already, and it knows how perfect everything can be. And then it's like so hard to just like, sit back and not try to do anything.
Yes, that's it. And in a love relationship, it's a challenge also,
Right.
because when you're in the fear-based energy, it really brings that shadows up, and I like six, pearl six.
Yeah.
It should be peace. And I'm in the other energy, so conflict all the time. And the mind bringing such small details about nothing, and then a discussion comes, and
Right.
and then blows up, and so when you're in the shadow mode, when you are there, it's kind of it's strong, really deep discussions. So it's the struggle the struggle of that gene keys there. It's like very deep, and it goes deep, and then and then, like you said, you really see the potential, so you want to help, but we are not here for that. So and
So
then, of course, and then you get the control, and then you think that the other person should do this and should do that and should do that. And then the mind comes and starts to organize, and that's it. And then the relationship goes, because there's no it's impossible to continue with that type of energy. And then it comes the victim aggressive, both sides, of course.
right.
So yes, so it's kind of
So you
these
what you're explaining now, it's very much like, when you're in the challenge here, and there is there's the control, and the fourth, instead of feeling the heart, it kind of feels numb, and so I'm wondering, what would you say for people that have the 48 in, either in the life's work or somewhere else in the profile, when you feel that inadequacy, whether it is that you feel you are inadequate, or you feel like the other person is inadequate, like, do you have any advice to not to not feel like you're stuck in the shadow frequency forever? What would you do? Would you just stay with it? Would you not interact with other, can you give us a little bit of what your resourcefulness tells us, that when we come into that shadow, what we can do in order to maybe let the process kind of have not the worst possible outcome, but a better outcome?
Yes, I do some exercises on myself. I hope it helps. I first of all, I feel the energy on the body. Normally the mind wants to bring stories, because this is a fear-based energy. So the mind wants to continue with that pain. like that pain, with that story of you're this or poor that, or people do this to you or do that to you, they're not your friends and all those. So the mind brings up the emotion. So imagine that you're in the fear mode, so the mind will come up with the story to tell you that emotion it's there. So what I do when it's really deep, I allowed it to be, and I really feel it on the body.
Right.
I get connected on the body. I don't listen to the mind, because if I listen to the mind, I'm doing this.
Right.
And then it continues. It's a non-stop, and then it blocks you. And then the problem on that 48 gene key paralyzes you completely. So and then the body, of course, you get all these blocked energy, and then that's when it comes the problems in the health,
Right.
deep health problems. That's when it comes up, because it's like doing this. It's like I don't know, like a bomb. It's like, and then because it's so overwhelming, it blocks you, and then you stop. That's when the depression comes and all of that. People talk about depression. It's just the body cannot continue with that and so low energy anymore. Just it's not made for that. The body, it's not made for that energy, so it shuts down, and shuts down in different ways, or a health problem, or depression, or you just get so paralyzed that the mind made you not to do anything.
Right.
So that's a deep when you're really in the low shadow on the 48 Chinki. For me, I allowed it to feel the energy on the body. I really allowed it. I really allowed to see the energy on my body. Not the mind though. Okay, this is very important. If the mind brings you up stories about that emotion, because it's going to bring you thousands of them. If you don't listen one, you're going to bring another one. It's because your ex-boyfriend, or it's because your mother, it's because your father, it's because your sister, work or whatever. It's not outside. It doesn't have anything to do with the outside. It's you. It's your emotion. It belongs to you. You have to work it out in yourself. So go deep on the body. For me, it helps Vipassana meditation. It's a breathing meditation, really strong. You can start with 15 minutes and all of that. When I'm in that mode and I really feel it in the body, I get very connected and I breathe. Even when I'm walking, even when I'm with people, I'm doing that. Okay. Sometimes people see that I'm doing that because I feel it so deep, especially in situations that brings me my child issues, it's deep, and I allowed myself to just be, just be, and be with the emotion. Because if you want to camouflage it, trying to change it, all think positive thoughts, it's not gonna work out, because the emotion is still there. Right. And more deep you are going on that journey on yourself, more gentle energies you start to feel. So I never felt peace in my life, never, since 6 months ago. And I feel it completely. It's like I was telling myself, this is better than an orgasm. I was like, it was like, oh my God, it's just like this, just so relaxed, the mind, the body, everything, because I allowed myself to go deep on that lower frequency emotion. Because the mind is the one who projects all of that, and it allowed you to make all these fears, strong fears, because 48 bring you like fear of death.
Right.
I had fear of death, really deep, strong inside me. And I still do meditation on that. I still do it. So, yeah. So this is one of my biggest fear that I have. It's fear of death. So now, not so much anymore. Sometimes when I'm on my mind, it comes up, but not on that level that I felt before. So
yeah, and that is the splenic center that has all these fears that are so overwhelming sometimes. But then when you kind of allow them, it's that what we call the codon ring of illusion, which is the 32 and the 28. they're like, then it's kind of poof. And then that is what what you're telling us, that's when you come back into your pearl and you feel the peace and you feel the divine will, the relaxation, and it's there. And then it's kind of the spiral, instead of going down, it starts to go up, which is
Go up. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
yeah, no, I mean, I can feel that you've been, that's what we always say with the Jinkies too, that there's a spectrum, a frequency band, and we always have, we have all of them, but you are showing us in a very clear way how, you kind of been deep into the shadow, but you're also now experiencing the higher frequencies. And the city of the 48 is wisdom. And the way I hear you speak about even, the darkest moments, and to be able, I mean, just to be able to say allow the darkness, in a way, it's a little bit scary too, but the way you speak about it, it's like we can feel like you've been there, that you're not just taking it from a book or something, like, it's like your own experience that you're unlocking. I mean, that's what you're doing. You are unlocking the higher frequencies of your own genetic blueprint, and it's so beautiful to be able to like hear you and then point in the profile at the same time to see, wow, this is how it works. And we have access. It's not that we don't, even if we never felt peace before. You are born in 1980, so it's like never too late, never too early, but it's there all the time. And then it's finding the ways to navigate the frequency band, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what I really start to figure out is this. We have this energy, like imagine that you are in most of your life in this fear energy, right? So you're always in the shadow work. So your aura gets kind of stuck. The energies they don't flow. They stuck. That's why it comes all the outside problems, because you're all inside your aura, your energy. It's stuck with these low vibrations. So when you start to work with yourself on that, you really start to feel on the body first. That's why it's so important for my case to stay on the body, present on the body. When I'm walking, I'm walking present. When I'm doing this, I'm doing present. So being present on the body, what I'm feeling, what emotions that I'm having. So it's so important to bring the consciousness to our treasure that it's inside of us. So when I go there, when I'm allowed in sometimes to go deeper on the meditation and things like that, all that energy that it's blocked, it starts to expand. I really feel it. I feel that shiverings, and I feel something comes out from the outside coming in, and I just like and I feel it. And it's really strong. So I don't use the mind so much to say if I'm okay or not.
Right.
Of course, the happiness comes because the joy comes, the excitement comes, but comes from a true base of the emotions inside. Not because I want to be happy, not because I want to have this, not because I want to have that. No, because I'm doing the inside work on myself. So I'm feeling the other emotions and the other energies coming up. So it's different than wanting to use the minds to be positive or do that or do that. And then the emotions, they are deep down, they're blocked. And then of course you can have a moment happy, and then the other moment, you're not, you're going down, and you're going up and you're going down. So, and then you are like allowing the mind to take you everywhere. So when are you doing that work on the body and emotions and everything, you start to really feel the inside out. And it's for me the most beautiful journey that is happening inside myself, deep inside myself. And of course the outside, I see it too. I see it with people, I see it with situation, I see it with work. I see it with my project that it's like, yes, it's just, oh my God, the new project. I really feel this amazing energy, and then all these characters and the things that they say. I really doesn't come from me because I don't have the knowledge, from my logical mind to bring all that things that I say. And when I'm with the groups, when I'm with people. I had a big event on October. I started my new period of my life, and we were like 150 people that attended to the event. So it was like amazing for me. And when I was there, it wasn't me. It was not my ego personality. It was something bigger than myself. I don't remember what I said. I see the videos because people send you things like that. And like, what did I say those things? It's like overwhelming for me. Like, why? I was that feeling of divine will. That it's like something comes up and takes control.
And also connected to that 48, because we say the 48 is so deep, it's like the well. So then when people come and drink from you, that's when we know what's in there. So it's beautiful. It's also that you don't really even know there's so much wisdom in, and then somebody interacts with you, and then we know, and then you're like, whoa, was that in there? Was that in me? So that's so
yeah. Yes, exactly. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know that I had all this creativity to make all these things that I'm doing now. And I just, yeah, it's a journey, everyday journey. And it's beautiful because I don't try to control so much things, because I know that it's an everyday journey. So I want to see what the day brings up, what part of me that I don't know yet, it's coming up. So
right.
get you more in the present, here and now, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just so subtle energy that it stirs things up, just so subtle that the creativity comes. Just I was sitting down before we started to do my small meditation outside. I was looking at the bees on the flowers, that something came up like, oh wow. So just, yeah, when you're allowed to be present, not on the mind, because that's our big shadow that we still have in humanity, that we are still being controlled on the collective, on the ego side, on
Right.
the shadow side, and we don't see it. And when we are not connected with us, with ourselves, not the self in the ego modes, but the real self deep down us, it's hard. Of course, I usually say that I go to the cleaning machine, and I get there, and then I get stuck, and then I go, no, I was there again, and it happens. Sometimes it happens. I go back. I go back. Something comes up like old relationship or old problem, and I go to the mind, and I go there. And I'm there for a few hours or a few days, and then I wake up. Oh, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I'm here again. But it's kind of different because it's not. It's shorter. It's not.
Right.
I don't stay there so long. I don't go to the. I don't allow to the mind or the ego control so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow, I feel like this was so rich to have all these examples of what the 48 can be, and also, to see how it can play out in somebody's life, and that it makes sense with a chart and everything. So thank you so much for giving us like all this wisdom and resourcefulness. And I will also, post your links and all that, so that people know for your new project and all that, so that we can find you as well if we want to.
This Algarve treasure hunt. It's like, I'm still exploring it. It's a journey. It's an everyday journey, and things that comes up, and it's kind of interesting because I see the doors opening, and now I have other people contacting me and things like that. So yeah, it's kind of it's that deep feeling of uh, not knowing.
Right.
You understand? Because wisdom, it comes from the not knowing. So when you allow to relax on the not knowing of life, that you don't know anything really. So, and you allow that, and then you allow life to happen the way it needs to happen, and don't try to change it and control it. So you get more relaxed, and then you allow, and then you are open to receive.
Right.
That this is another interesting thing that I'm also learning. Open to receive, like one part of the video that I listened from the 48 Jinki that made me like very strong on me was explaining that was the 48 was one of the like the two, right, the most feminine energy Jinkis, you know. So that openness, you know, and now I understand why, not the feminine of what we think feminine is mentally, but the energy, like being so unstripped, so open, so, you know, not knowing what life's gonna bring you know, just being open. And this is being a beautiful journey for me, deep journey for me. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for
Thank
for everything, for this conversation. And I'm looking forward, you know, now you are part of the 64 doors. So anything that you want to add, any creativity, any art, you know, I hope that we're going to see back inside the doors.
Yes. Yes, I'm you know, I started with the 48 Jinki because I had this glimpse that if you're not really in the right frequency on the life's per Jinki, the other ones, they're going down, and then you're going always in the shadow because it's like,
Right.
you know. So, and then now I'm working with the other ones, you know, with the 21, 39, 38. So I'm going on there. I'm there. I'm really studying the other ones, and I am allowing to explore on myself on that. And of course, the creativity. I believe it's from the 48 because when what it comes up, it's such a deep, profound. Um, words, you know, from the characters, that the Templars, you know, the historical things, then the Holy Grail, and oh my God, like what is this? I didn't really had no idea that I had all this knowledge inside myself, you know. So, and I'm allowing that to come, and of course, it's a pleasure to to share it with you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.